Hey everyone, what's going on? So I have some more story progress to share with you. I wrote about 1,187 words today. A couple of days ago, I wrote another pretty good amount of words, and just I'm keeping up with it daily and consistently. So I'm happy about that. Right now in the story, I have a character who has been arrested for a murder. Um, my main character is the detective, so he's interrogating him, and the answers that he's getting out of him are really weird. I can't really get much further into that because I don't want to spoil the book for you, but it's pretty interesting. I introduced this new character, this lawyer. Don't know exactly what I'm going to do with her yet. It's funny because, while I'm going through writing this, I noticed that, just new characters just come popping up out of nowhere. And it's just funny where the story takes you. You know, I write like a whole outline of where I think the story's going to go, and then, certain characters get thrown into the mix just to fatten up the scene a little bit. And, who knows what's going to happen. I have an officer who was trained by the detective a while back, who was new to the cast, and this new lawyer character that I added is new as well. So it's a pretty interesting process, So aside from that, I am speaking to you from my new computer here. So that's one of the investments that I made, and right now I have to say it's pretty good. My Chromebook, I can pull it out right here. Let me see. This I've had, and this is what I wrote my last book on, and I still love it, but I think it's kind of seen the end of its days because every time I open it up, the screen starts blinking. I have to close it and open it up and try to figure out what to do with that. And then the mouse, when I try to highlight stuff, it doesn't want to work. So maybe I'll see if maybe I can get that fixed cheaply and maybe use that on vacation or something. But this is going to be what I use for mostly everything from now on. And I'm happy about that because now I get to install crazy, all the writer programs that everybody else is using, like Scrivener. That's what I'm writing my new book in now. And, I'm making the switch from Google Docs / Word to Scrivener has been pretty interesting. I like the layout of the software. And I think it just breaks everything down pretty easily, and the fact that it just formats it into a print version and an ebook version at the very end of the process is extremely it will be very handy for me once I'm done, because just formatting the book at the end of the process for my last book was just a little bit of a nightmare. So anything that I can do to kind of automate that process, or make it a little bit less of a hassle, I will do. But aside from using Scrivener, I want to also install Dragon Dictation. Now I'm not sure how many people use this to write, but I've become privy to it. I've been listening to Joanna Penn's podcast, The Creative Pen, and she kind of introduced me to this whole idea of using dictation to write your book. Now, she doesn't really use it all that much, but she's had some guests on her show that have really talked about how it's increased their productivity. Just dictation alone has been giving them 5,000 words in the same amount of time it takes me to write 1,100. So I'm like, okay, I need to see if this is going to work for me. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to install Dragon Dictation, try to figure out how it works. I think I'll start off small, like with a short story or something, and try to write it that way, and see whether that works for me. See how quickly I run through that. So that would be ideal. If I could use it and it not be too confusing or too too hard to get used to, then yeah, definitely my next book I will be using Dragon Dictation and getting through it much quicker. I mean, I think that's really important in this world where, you know, you have to have something out consistently in order to stay um, relevant. So that's my whole thing. But right now, you know, I'm just keeping up with the book. It's still going. It's still coming. I had a conversation with somebody on Twitter the other day where they were talking about waiting for a sequel to Pangea, and yeah, you know, my whole thing about that is just I have to have the right idea or the right structure to really give it that epic quality that I'm looking for. Um, so you know, that's still to come. I haven't given up on it just yet. Um, the prequel, I think I might have to water that down to a short story or something. We'll see what happens though. But that's all I have for now. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like my content. I do also have the read as well. It's not just me talking about my day on a, to the camera. It's actually it's a really valuable interview with other Black LGBTQ authors. So yeah, definitely take a look at that. And you know, just keep in touch. You know, follow me on my social media networks. I respond to everybody. I'm very open and I'm very eager to have conversations with everyone. So please, you know, just reach out to me and let's talk. I'll see you later.